Okay, it's on the agenda, unfinished business, back to McPheeters Bend. I'm gonna read a statement. Bear with me. I got it in here. This is some verbiage I got from one of our attorneys on this motion pertaining to McPheeters Bend, that there was action taken last month, and with 2 board members being absent, the vote was 3-2, but per state law, it failed because you had to have a majority of the quorum.
No,
Majority of the
board.
Majority of the board, excuse me. So, I had to ask some questions. Is this item void, meaning can it be further discussed and acted upon, or defeated and unable to be further discussed? No, not at all. Void essentially means here that the 3-2 vote in effect never occurred. During the next meeting, if the same issue is placed back on the agenda, the board chair could clear this up with a statement. During our last meeting, a motion and a second were made. A 3-2 vote then occurred to allow Hawkins County Schools to operate a closed school site for other purposes on the eastern side of Hawkins County. After later discussing the same with our legal counsel, the board and the director have been advised that the 3-2 vote had no effect. And that's in Tennessee Code Annotated 49-2-202G. Provides that such a vote would require a majority of all of the members constituting the board and not merely a majority of the quorum. As everyone knows, 2 members of our board could not be present for this last meeting, so I have added this issue back to the agenda for further discussion and a possible motion. So, it's before this board for a motion.
I beg to differ, Mr. Chairman.
You can't yet because we're not under discussion.
That's fine.
So I'm gonna make a motion that we bring this back up for discussion.
Okay, there's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
We have a second. Nay.
Well, I beg to differ simply because if that's the case, if that vote was void, then why in the heck did we have any business at all? Because there was 3 other issues on that list.
They all passed 4-4. They passed by a majority of
Those that were here. There was 5 of us here.
Yeah, but it has, you have to hit 4.
4 votes that would constitute enough to pass it.
So we
Right,
had a quorum.
but we had a quorum. But if there was a vote, in other words, what you're saying is if a vote in a quorum fails, that you just keep on bringing it up and bringing it up and bringing it up.
It doesn't automatically come up, but if a member wishes to bring it back up, the clarification I received from Mr. McCarty is that that's perfectly legal to do so, to bring it back up. And then if it passes or fails with the entire membership, or a majority of that, then that stands.
That makes absolutely no sense.
Motion can be brought to the table at any time.
I agree, but this is my position. If we are going to bring it back up, then my position is it should be repurposed for something else.
All right.
Okay. We have a motion, we have a second. I'm calling for the question. Let's put this to rest.
Can I challenge this in court before the chancellor?
You have a right to do anything that you choose. We can't stop you from doing that.
Not done.
This motion.
I believe point of order was that Judy's motion was to open it for discussion, and that was seconded. There is no
Well, you've already approved it as part of the agenda, so in effect, it's part of.
No, it's separate from the agenda.
All right, well,
I just want to clarify that that's not the assumption that we're voting on this,
Okay.
this particular item.
Okay.
The motion was, or the point of order was that she would like to discuss.
okay, so we're,
And McClure seconded. And if I'm discussing this, so I'd like to say my position on, McPheeters Bend. That I'm gonna bring up Kepler as well, and I'm gonna bring up Rogersville Middle School as well, because, I'm a very big advocate of not selling the land. Because once you sell the land and you have to buy it back, you're gonna have to pay bigger bucks than what you did. When Kepler was up and we were trying, it was under discussion of what to do with Kepler, that it was gonna be, it was already closed, and my position was there, and I asked many questions of you that night about what could we use that school for. And, there wasn't anything that we could use it for because it was so remote. McPheeters Bend now has come up, and I asked people in my district of 7, that was not District 4, which Kepler is in, but that was District 7, and the people that I polled actually wanted it sold, and that's why I voted that way, because that's what they wanted. Since then, I did some research on this subject of McPheeters Bend, and what it would be used for, which I knew all along, but what it would cost is what I'm gonna bring up, what it would cost in order to put those programs in some other facility or a new facility that we don't have, to bring those up and not use property that is already available to us. That's what I wanted to say. So, you know, I didn't say how I was gonna vote, but I was gonna say those are valid reasons to me as a school board member. Looking at the property, looking at what we're gonna use it for, looking how much it would cost in order to instate, is that right? Instate those programs into another facility or the facilities that we have on the upper end of the county. And it's gonna cost a lot more than it would be to keep McPheeters Bend and to refurbish it. Okay, that's what I have to say. Thank you for listening.
We got a motion and a second, we're gonna vote.
I'll make a motion to approve as stated here in the unfinished business.
I'll second.
we have a motion, we have a second. On the motion as stated on our agenda. And if you would like, I should read that into the record. Approval to allow Hawkins County Schools to utilize McPheeters Bend Elementary School for the remainder of the 21-22 school year and 22-23 school year. The school would be utilized for the upper end of the county, examples of usage: Pathways Alternative School, Upper End Site, Hawkins County Virtual Academy, Upper End Site, Family Resource Center, optional space, adult education classes, Firemen's Association providing fire safety classes, training, space for professional development, and etc. No additional staffing will be required for these uses. The Director of Schools will update the board on the benefits of utilization of the school in the spring of 22-23 school year.
Now, wasn't the motion and the second to bring it back up again, is that what I understood?
To approve
Is
it.
that still? the
Mine
motion, or
was
you now-
discussion and it's over with.
No, the motion
Do
is
we have to
to,
vote on
We're kind
that?
of-
We don't
Oh,
have
you
to vote
gotta
on
combine
that.
those two, I mean,
no, the
you need to
motion is,
clarify what we're voting on,
the motion was to approve it as stated, just as it is.
Well, the way I understood it, what you said was this is the motion to bring it back up again.
That's what.
That was Tuesday.
We never voted on
Okay,
it.
all right.
Do we have to even vote on that, though, if we were just
It
discussing?
won't be your hand to clarify the
It's too
record.
late now.
Well, you haven't voted on anything, you certainly could.
Right, absolutely procedural.
We're not voted on anything.
I realize that.
So we're gonna take the first motion.
Well, it's already happened.
So we're still gonna vote.
It won't hurt if it's already happened.
So, Judy's motion to discuss, we have a motion and a second, and discussion is taking place. All in favor of doing that, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
No.
Opposed. Now,
Now you're,
now for the motion to approve
as presented.
as presented. We have a motion, we have a second, no further discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
No.
One opposed, the motion passes. Thank you. Now,
So, Mr. Chairman,
yes,
with that being said, in the future, I make a motion that we do not hold any board members unless, any board meetings unless the whole board is constitutes that meeting, or by electronic if it's available. In other words, if we got 2 members that can't be here, 3 or whatever, because 4 constitutes a quorum, right? 4 members constitutes a quorum, that's what we said that 5 years ago.
yeah.
But that, you gotta remember, that's the law.
Yeah,
So
we
you
can't begin
Well,
that.
the law
Oh,
says,
and then the 4 people vote on something.
Okay,
Right.
excuse
You
me.
can't change that.
My point of order is this. We can discuss that at a later date. It is not on the agenda. We still have business to discuss here.